Hello everyone. Last time we have explained about the prokaryotic cell, structure of prokaryotic cell, and we have explained an example of prokaryotic cell, that is bacterial cell or E. coli, Escherichia coli type of bacterium. Today we are going to explain the structure and functions of the eukaryotic cells. The eukaryotic cells possesses true nucleus, that is nuclear material such as the DNA or the chromosomes remaining separated from the cytoplasm by means of a double lipoprotein membrane or a nuclear membrane, or simply we can say that the eukaryotic cells, they are having a good nucleus or a true nucleus present in the cytoplasm and separating the nuclear material in the form of chromosomes separate from the cytoplasm due to presence of definite nuclear membrane enclosing nuclear components or the chromosomes or the DNA material or a nucleoplasm, which will remain separated from the cytoplasm. And nuclear membrane of the eukaryotic cells is composed of double lipoprotein membrane consisting of pores or the perforations or nuclear pore complexes through which the nuclear material or the cytoplasmic materials can be passed through or can be exchanged or can be transported from cytoplasm to nucleoplasm or nucleoplasm to the cytoplasm. The eukaryotic cells are easily distinguished or differentiated from the prokaryotic cells or the bacterial cells through a membrane-bound nucleus. So, in case of eukaryotic cells, there is a definite nucleus or the nucleus with a definite nuclear membrane enclosing the nuclear material or the DNA material, and that will be separated from the cytoplasmic matrix or the cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cells. But in case of prokaryotic cells or in case of bacterial cells, or as we have explained in a E. coli cell, there is a DNA or the chromosome, single spherical coiled DNA representing the bacterial chromosome without nuclear membrane. So, with the help of nuclear material or the nucleus, we can differentiate the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cells. So, eukaryotic cells are having true nucleus or a definite nucleus enclosing nuclear material or the nucleoplasm containing DNA material in the form of chromatin or the chromosomes composed of DNA and certain nucleoproteins like histones. So, eukaryotic cells also contain many internal membrane bound structures which perform various metabolic functions. So, the, the nucleus, which is a definite nucleus with a definite nuclear membrane that is present in the eukaryotic cells, together with the cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cells, contain different type of internal membrane bound structures or the cytoplasmic organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, lysosomes, chloroplast, which are the membrane bound structures called as cell organelles and are present in the cytoplasm of the cells and are performing different metabolic functions such as protein synthesis, lipid synthesis or enzyme synthesis, their storage and their transportation or exportation to the other cells. So, there are various functions performed by the cell organelles like lysosomes, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria or the lysosomes, chloroplasts, etc., which are present in the cytoplasm as a membrane bound structures, and they perform various metabolic functions in the eukaryotic cells. Except ribosomes, all these membrane bound structures are absent in the prokaryotic cells. So with the help of definite nucleus and these membrane bound structures or cell organelles, we can distinguish the prokaryotic cells from the eukaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells lack true nucleus, or nucleus is primitive type, just containing a bacterial chromosome in the form of spherical DNA as a nucleoid mass without nuclear membrane, and no membrane bound cell organelles like ER, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, chloroplast, or mitochondria or lysosomes, all of which are absent in the prokaryotic cells. And all of these membrane bound structures of the cell organelles, that is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, chloroplast, lysosomes, all of which are present in the cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cells and performing different metabolic functions in the cell. The eukaryotic cells occur in most plant and animal cells. The eukaryotic cells occurs in most plants and the animals, right from protozoa to mammalia. So among the animals, from protozoan to the mammals, that is invertebrates and the vertebrates, right from unicellular to multicellular organisms or the animals, that is protozoa to mammalia, consisting of eukaryotic cells, or all plant cells, most plant cells, they are also of eukaryotic type. These cells are complex in structure. Eukaryotic cells, which are occurring in plants and animals or from protozoa to mammals, they are having complex structure and shows different shapes and sizes. These cells are larger than prokaryotic cells. The eukaryotic cells are much larger in size than prokaryotic cells. As earlier we have explained that prokaryotic cells are microscopic and having very small size, microscopic size, that is ranging from 0.2 micrometer to 5 micrometer only. But the animal cells are having large size, varies from 1 micrometer to 175 micrometer in a diameter. As we have explained, the largest cell in the eukaryotes, that is ostrich egg, having a size up to 175 millimeter diameter. Nerve cells are the longest cells, eukaryotic cells, having length of up to 3 to 3.5 feet or 1.06 meter. That is the length of the nerve cell or the neuron. The length of longest nerve cell. The length of longest nerve cell is up to 1.906 meter or 3.5 feet in a length nerve cell, and the largest cell, that is ostrich egg, having diameter of 17.5 centimeter, 17.5 centimeter or 175 millimeter diameter, largest cell, eukaryotic cell, that is ostrich egg. Cell wall may or may not be present. Eukaryotic cells possessing cell wall, or cell wall may present or may absent in the eukaryotic cell, because the plant cells are consisting of cell wall. The outermost covering of the outermost covering membrane or covering of the plant cell is a cell wall, and just inside to cell wall there is a cell membrane or the plasma membrane present in the plant cells. Cell wall is also present in the bacterial cell or the prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells or the bacterial cells also possessing cell wall and the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. The plant cells also possessing cell wall and the plasma membrane, but bacterial cells are the prokaryotic cells and the plant cells are the eukaryotic cells, because the plant cells are having a nucleus, definite nucleus with a nuclear membrane. So cell wall may or may not be present in the eukaryotic cells. Animal cells lacking cell wall. Cell wall is absent in the animal cells. Cell wall is present in plant cells. So both plant cells and animal cells are the eukaryotic type of cells having true nucleus, or the nucleus with a definite nuclear membrane present in the plant cells and the animal cells. Another characteristic of the eukaryotic cell, that is the presence of cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton representing the some sort of endoskeletal components or the providing mechanical support or forming or providing definite shape to the cells, that is representing cytoskeleton, and is composed of microfilaments composed of proteins, that is microfilaments or intermediate filaments or the microtubules, which are present in the cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cells and forming a cytoskeleton, which gives a peculiar shape, definite shape to the eukaryotic cells. The eukaryotic DNA is organized in one or more number of linear molecules called as chromosomes. As we have explained, in the prokaryotic cells, there is a single bacterial chromosome in E. coli cell without nuclear membrane, composed of double-stranded DNA, forming a spherical DNA as a single chromosome in the bacterial or the prokaryotic cells without nuclear membrane. But in eukaryotic cells, there is a true nucleus and consisting of definite nuclear membrane enclosing nucleoplasm or the nuclear contents or the chromosomes in the form of DNA and associated proteins or the histone proteins or the nucleoproteins to form a protein material, and that will compose to form the chromosomes. The eukaryotic DNA is organized, the eukaryotic DNA is organized in one or more number of linear molecules called as chromosomes, or we can say there are definite number of chromosomes. There are definite number of chromosomes in the either in the form of haploid set or the diploid set in a nucleus of the eukaryotic cells. So in a diploid cells, there are two set of the chromosomes with a definite number present in the eukaryotic cells. So eukaryotic nucleus consisting of a definite number of chromosomes may be one or more number of linear molecules called as chromosomes, and that are present in the eukaryotic nucleus or in the eukaryotic cells. The chromosomes are always associated with the histone proteins. The chromosomes contain composed of DNA, double-stranded DNA, and associated with the nucleoproteins called as histone proteins. So the chromosomes of the eukaryotic cells or the eukaryotic nucleus are always associated with the histone proteins. The chromosomal DNA is stored in the cell nucleus. The chromosomal DNA or the chromosomal material or the genetic material or the nuclear material in the form of chromosomes containing DNA is stored in the cell nucleus, and which is bounded by a definite nuclear membrane and kept separate from the cytoplasm. Some eukaryotic organelles like mitochondria and chloroplast also contain DNA. So, other than nuclear DNA or the nuclear chromosomes, cytoplasmic organelles of the eukaryotic cells such as mitochondria and the chloroplast contain their own DNA, and which will help them to perform the certain important functions of the metabolism. For example, mitochondria having its own DNA in the mitochondria, which synthesize a number of enzymes or the proteins so as to carry out or so as to perform the function of energy metabolism or energy synthesis, and thus the mitochondria are called as the autonomous bodies. The mitochondria are the autonomous bodies or the structures present in the cytoplasm of the cell. These mitochondria are the self sufficient. Mitochondria are self-sufficient structures as they contain their own DNA, and they can synthesize a number of enzymes which are essential for the energy metabolism, and thus mitochondria are called as powerhouse of the cell. Similarly, the chloroplast also containing their DNA, which will perform a function of photosynthesis, that is producing the carbohydrates in the plants. So, these are the uh, semi-autonomous bodies or the structures, semi-autonomous bodies or the structures or the cell organelles present in the cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cells because of presence of their own DNA or the genetic material, and which helps them to perform their function properly. Maybe process of photosynthesis or the synthesis of energy by the mitochondria. So, the chromosomal DNA is stored in the cell nucleus in the form of definite number of chromosomes or definite number of homologous pair of chromosomes or the diploid set of the chromosomes in the nucleus, and some eukaryotic organelles like mitochondria and chloroplast also containing their own DNA, and thus the DNA present in mitochondria or the chloroplast is called as a cDNA or a cytoplasmic DNA. So, these are semi-autonomous bodies. Mitochondria and chloroplast are semi-autonomous bodies present in the cytoplasm and performing their function with the help of nuclear DNA together with their own DNA. Structure of eukaryotic plant cell. So, we have explained about the structure and functions of the eukaryotic cell, and now we will explain the structure of eukaryotic plant cell. We will explain an example of the eukaryotic cell, that is plant cell. In case of prokaryotic cells, we have explained the example of prokaryotic cell, that is E. coli cell, Escherichia coli. So, in a structure of eukaryotic cells, we are going to explain an example of the plant cell first, and then we will explain the animal cell. The plant body consists of number of small microscopic box-like compartments called the cell. So that was Robert Hooke who first discovered the plant cell by studying a piece of cork under the microscope, and he saw a honeycomb-like structure in it, and each compartment or a box-like compartment in a piece of cork. While observing under microscope, Robert Hooke was the first scientist or the cell biologist who first discovered the plant cell by observing a piece of cork under the microscope, and he observed a honeycomb-like structure under the microscope, and each of the compartment or the box was referred to as a cell. So, Latin term cellular means a small compartment. Cell means a small compartment. The plant cells contain structures such as cell wall. The plant cell contains structures such as cell wall, plastids, and large vacuoles. So, this is the specialty of the plant cells. So, plant cells are composed of important structures or distinguishing structures such as cell wall, plastids may be chloroplast or colored or colorless plastids may be chloroplast or the leucoplastids. So, plastids, then large vacuoles are present in the cytoplasm. As the plant matures, its cell become specialized in order to perform certain functions necessary for the survival of the plants. So, as the plants matures, its cell become specialized or become larger in size or become specialized in order to perform certain function necessary for the survival of the plants. The cells are variable in a shape and size. The cells of plant are variable in a shape and size. The shape may be spherical. The shape of the plant cell may be spherical, oval, polygonal, rectangular, or elongated. The average size of the fully developed cells varies from 1 by 10 millimeter to 1 by 100 millimeter. The size of the plant cells, well developed or fully developed plant cells, varies from 1 by 10 millimeter to 1 by 100 millimeter. A typical plant cell has an outer thick covering. A typical plant cell has an outer thick covering called as cell wall, which encloses a colorless, semi-fluid or semi-liquid granular substance called as a protoplasm. So, typical plant cell consisting of outermost covering of the cell wall and which will enclose a cytoplasmic contents in the form of colorless, semi-liquid or semi-fluid granular substance called as protoplasm. The protoplasm is the fundamental substance of all organisms. The protoplasm of all cells, the protoplasm of all type of cells forms a fundamental substance or the basic substance of cells of all organisms. The following structures and organelles are present in a typical plant cell, starting with first, that is the cell wall. So, cell wall in case of plants is a rigid and elastic membrane. Cell wall is a rigid or hard and elastic membrane bounding the cell, covering the cell. The plant cell wall is made up of cellulose. The plant cell wall is made up of cellulose. It is a polysaccharide or a carbohydrate, complex type of carbohydrate called as cellulose. So, plant cell wall is composed of cellulose. The cell wall possesses a large number of minute pores. The cell wall possesses a large number of minute pores called as micelle, through which different cells are interconnected. The cell wall acts as a semi-permeable membrane. The plant cell walls consist of 3 layers. So, plant cell wall, the plant cells are covered by external surface by means of the cell wall, which is composed of cellulose, that is a complex carbohydrate, and cell wall consisting of perforations or large number of minute pores called as micelle, and with the help of these pores or the micelle, the adjacent cells or the different cells of the plant are interconnected. So, cell wall acts as a semi-permeable membrane between the adjacent cells or the adjacent plant tissues, interconnecting the different cells by means of micelle or the pores which are present in the cell wall, that is outermost covering membrane of the plant cells, which is composed of mainly cellulose. Middle and having 3 layers. The cell wall is composed of 3 layers such as middle lamella, So, it is the outer wall of the cell and is shared by adjacent cells and is composed of actin and protein. So, middle lamella, the outermost covering of the plant cell wall, consisting of 3 layers, that is middle lamella, which is the outermost wall of the cell, and is shared by the adjacent cells and is composed of pectin and protein. Then primary wall, it consists of rigid skeleton of the cellulose, microfibrils embedded in a gel-like matrix and composed of pectic compounds, hemicellulose and the glycoproteins. Then secondary wall, it is formed after the cell is enlarged. When the cell is enlarged or fully grown, at that time secondary wall is formed, which is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and the lignin. The secondary wall is generally layered. The secondary wall is consisting of series of layers, is generally layered. So the cell wall of the plants is composed of three layers such as middle lamella, primary wall and the secondary wall, which are composed of either cellulose, microfibrils and other gel-like matrix composed of pectic compounds or hemicellulose or the glycoproteins or lignin-like materials. Then second layer, that is a cell membrane or the plasma membrane. So plant cells, outermost covering of the plant cells is called as cell wall, which is mainly composed of cellulose and consisting of micelle or the pores which communicates the adjacent cells and thus become a semi-permeable membrane present between the adjacent plant cells, and this is composed of three layers, that is middle lamella, primary wall and secondary wall. Then just inner to the cell wall there is a cell membrane or a plasma membrane, which is a thin semi-permeable membrane that surrounds the cytoplasm of the cell and enclosing its contents. So enclosing cytoplasmic contents, and it lies just below the cell wall. Cell membrane or the plasma membrane lies just beneath or below the outermost covering cell wall. So outer covering of the plant cells is a cell wall, and then follows or just inner to the cell wall there is a cell membrane or the plasma membrane, which is a thin membrane, semi-permeable membrane, and that surrounds or encloses the cytoplasm of the cells or the cytoplasmic contents of the cell. Then third material or the component of the plant cell, that is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a gel-like, transparent, semi-liquid substance or semi-fluid substance present in the cell in which the nucleus and different organelles are embedded. Cytoplasm is the site where most cellular activities occurs, such as many metabolic pathways and cell division or metabolic pathways. So whatever the cellular functions, that is the metabolism, that is the synthesis of proteins, synthesis of lipids, or energy synthesis, or enzyme synthesis, or the various type of transportations taking place in the cytoplasm with the help of different metabolic pathways and are performed by the cytoplasm of the cells. So cytoplasm is the site where most cellular activities occurs, such as many metabolic pathways or a series of enzyme catalyzed reaction, biochemical reactions taking place in the cytoplasm of the cells, and also the cell division. So during growth, the cell divides, redivides and forming new cells. So this process of the cell division is also performed by the cytoplasm of the cell. In plants, movement of the cytoplasm around vacuoles is known as cytoplasmic streaming. In plants, movement of the cytoplasm around the vacuoles is known as cytoplasmic streaming. Then next structures present in the cytoplasm, that is cytoskeleton. So cytoskeleton is a network of fibers or the filaments present throughout the cytoplasm that helps the cell to maintain its shape and size. So shape and size of the cell is maintained by presence of cytoskeleton in the form of fibers, network of fibers or the microfilaments, protein filaments present in the cytoplasm forming a cytoskeleton, and which gives a particular shape to the cell and gives support, mechanical support to the cell. The cytoplasm comprised of microfilaments, microtubules. So microfilaments are solid rods. Microfilaments are solid rods made of globular proteins called as actin. Microfilaments are composed of globular proteins. Microfilaments, these are the solid rod-like fibers or the filaments composed of globular proteins called as actin, and these filaments are primarily structural in a function. These filaments are primarily structural in a function. So that will form a structure of cytoskeleton in the cytoplasm composed of globular proteins called as actin and are important component of the cytoskeleton. Microfilaments forming the important component of the cytoskeleton, forming the structure of cytoskeleton and composed of globular proteins called as actin in the form of solid rods or the fibers in the cytoplasm. Then microtubules are straight. Microtubules are straight, hollow cylinders found throughout the cytoplasm of all eukaryotic cells, and they are absent in prokaryotes. Microtubules or the cytoskeletal elements like microtubules are absent in prokaryotes but are present in all eukaryotic cells, and they carry out variety of functions. The cytoskeletal elements, that is microtubules, carry out variety of functions ranging from transport to the structural support. So, as they are hollow cylindrical filaments, hollow cylinder or the filaments forming microtubules, so they also serve as a transporting material and also the structural support. So this is representing cytoskeleton, microfilaments and the microtubules present in the plant cells forming cytoskeleton composed of microfilaments and microtubules providing mechanical support to the cells and maintaining the shape of the cells together will help in a variety of functions, that is transport or the structural support provided by the microtubules. Then nucleus of the plant cells. The nucleus is spherical, highly specialized, dense part of the protoplasm embedded in the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm consisting of a conspicuous structure or the component or the material representing spherical, highly specialized, dense or compact part embedded in the protoplasm called as nucleus. Although all vital activities in the cell taking place in the cytoplasm, but they are controlled by the nucleus. So whatever the cytoplasmic activities or the cytoplasmic reactions, biochemical reactions in the form of different metabolic pathways, even though they are taking place in the cytoplasm, but are under the control of nucleus or are under the control of genes present in the chromosomes of the nucleus. Thus, nucleus is the control center. Thus, the nucleus is the control center of the cell. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. The nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane and it serves two major functions, that it stores the cell's genetic material. The nucleus enclosed in a nuclear membrane or nuclear material is enclosed in the nuclear membrane and performing two major functions of the cells, that is it stores the genetic material in the form of chromosomes and secondly it coordinates cell activities which include growth, metabolism, protein synthesis, cell division. So these are the important functions of the cell and performed by with the help of cytoplasm, but are coordinated or performed under the direction of the nuclear material or the chromosomes or the genetic material stored in the nucleus. So the nucleus performs two functions. One, that is stores nuclear material of the cell, and secondly control or coordinates all cellular activities including growth, metabolism, protein synthesis and the cell division. So this is the second major function of the nucleus. So under the influence of the genes of the chromosomes, all the activities of cell cytoplasm are performed or controlled or coordinated by the nucleus. So nucleus coordinates cell activities, all cell activities such as growth, metabolism, protein synthesis and cell division. On a dry weight basis, the following chemical substances are found in the nucleus. So nucleus contains about 70% of proteins, 3 to 5% phospholipids, 10% DNA, 2 to 3% RNA. So these are the nuclear components or the nuclear materials, percentage of the various materials present in the nucleus. So proteins are 70%, phospholipids 3 to 5%, DNA 10% and RNA 2 to 3%. The nucleus comprises of nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope, also called as karyotheca. Nucleus is composed of outermost covering, that is nuclear membrane, double nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope called as karyotheca, consisting of nuclear pore complexes or the perforations so as to transport the materials from nuclear plasm to cytoplasm or cytoplasm to nucleoplasm. Then second component of the nucleus is a nuclear sap called as nucleoplasm or also called as karyolymph. And third important structure present in the nucleus called as nucleolus. Then fourth is chromatin threads or the chromatin material or the threads representing the DNA, actual DNA material, genetic material in the form of chromosomes called as chromatin threads. The nuclear membrane is a lipid bilayer. The nuclear membrane is a lipid bilayer which surrounds the genetic material and the nucleolus. The nuclear membrane is a double membrane or a lipid bilayer composed of lipids or phospholipids and which surrounds or encloses the genetic material in the form of chromosomes and the nucleolus. The nucleolus within the nucleus, helps in the synthesis of ribosomes. So, nucleolus is a site of ribosome synthesis or rRNA synthesis. The nucleolus is thus a site of ribosome synthesis or ribosomal RNA synthesis. Nuclear pores are tiny holes. The nuclear pores are tiny holes within the nuclear membrane that allows the nucleic acids and the proteins, that is RNA or DNA, nucleic acids, that is RNAs or DNAs, and the proteins to move into and out the nucleus. So, the nuclear membrane or the nuclear pores of the nuclear membrane or the nuclear envelope allows the transportation of the different biomolecules such as nucleic acids and the proteins from cytoplasm to nucleoplasm or nucleoplasm to cytoplasm. So, two-way transportation of the various substances between the cytoplasm and nucleoplasm are allowed or permitted to pass through the nuclear envelope. The most conspicuous nuclear components are the slender threads of the chromatin, that is DNA, RNA and the nucleoproteins. The most conspicuous or the important nuclear components or the materials are the slender or linear elongated threads of the chromatin material composed of DNA and the nucleoproteins or the chromosomes and also the RNAs. During cell division, these thicken, these slender thread-like elements or the chromosomes containing DNA, nucleoproteins or RNAs, DNA, RNA or nucleoproteins, they are become thick. During cell division, these chromosomes or chromatin threads, these chromosomes, slender threads of the chromatin, these slender threads of the chromatin or chromosomes become thick during cell division and each has a distinct shape. Each slender thread of the chromatin can be called as chromosomes. So, during cell division, these chromosomes thicken and each has a distinct shape. They are then known as chromosomes or they are called as chromosomes. So, number of chromosomes for each cell nucleus is a constant for a given organism or a species. There is a definite number of chromosomes. There is a definite number of chromosomes present in the cell nucleus in the form of two sets of the chromosomes, and the number of two set of chromosomes or single set of the chromosome is definite in a given species. This is known as a chromosome number. Then another cell component of the plant cell, that is chloroplast. They are specialized organelles. The chloroplasts are specialized cell organelles that carry out the function of photosynthesis. Chloroplasts are made up of a stack of thylakoid discs containing chlorophyll. A stack of thylakoid disc is called as a granum, or plural grana. Process of photosynthesis, that is production of ATP molecules from the sunlight, taking place on thylakoid disc. So the chloroplast are the important cell organelles, specialized cell organelles which carries out the process of photosynthesis, that is producing carbohydrates or energy rich compounds. So carbohydrates are synthesized in presence of carbon dioxide and water. Sunlight and the chlorophyll pigment of the chloroplast undergoes the process of photosynthesis and producing carbohydrates in the form of glucose molecules and releasing the oxygen at the end of the reaction of the photosynthesis, that is producing carbohydrate and oxygen with the use of carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight, and the chlorophyll pigment of the chloroplast undergoes the process of photosynthesis and producing energy rich compound, that is carbohydrate, and oxygen is released. So this is what the important function of the chloroplast in the plants, and thus plants are called as autotrophic, producing their food themselves, in the form of carbohydrates themselves with the help of chloroplast, and thus plants are autotrophic, called as autotrophic, producing their food themselves. Then another cell organelle present in the cytoplasm of the plant cell, that is endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is a network of sacs or a lamellae that manufactures, processes, and transports the proteins in the cell. So endoplasmic reticulum, network of lamellar or interlamellar network of the endoplasmic reticulum, forming rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and performing the function of process of protein synthesis. So the endoplasmic reticulum is a network of sacs having interlamellar spaces enclosing the secretions or the secretory products or the proteins produced by the endoplasmic reticulum itself. So endoplasmic reticulum is a network of sacs that manufactures, processes, and transports the proteins in the cells. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is interconnected. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is interconnected, membranous, infolded, and convoluted sacs located in the cytoplasm and performing the function of protein synthesis, as the rough endoplasmic reticulum possesses dotted structures or the granulated structures present on the surface of the lamellae to form a rough endoplasmic reticulum which performs the function of protein synthesis and providing the proteins to the cytoplasm. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is covered with the ribosomes that give its rough appearance or rough surface, and hence is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum produce or synthesize the proteins and then transport these materials through the cell or through the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and produces the proteins in the sacs called as a cisternae. So rough endoplasmic reticulum having rough surface due to presence of ribosomes, but performing the process of protein synthesis and providing proteins to the cells. So cisternae or lamellae or cisternae of the endoplasmic reticulum having rough surface called as a rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesizing proteins and providing proteins to the cells. Then the smooth ER bursts up from the rough endoplasmic reticulum and moving the newly made proteins or synthesized proteins and lipids to the Golgi bodies and the membranes. So, smooth endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for storage of proteins synthesized by rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum having smooth surface of the cisternae or lamellae with a network of lamellae, interconnected lamellae with interlamellar space enclosing or stores the proteins secreted or produced by the rough endoplasmic reticulum and also synthesizing the lipids which are then transported. Proteins synthesized by rough endoplasmic reticulum, lipids synthesized by smooth endoplasmic reticulum together are then transported to the Golgi bodies by smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum bursts up from the rough endoplasmic reticulum and moving the newly synthesized proteins and the lipids to the Golgi bodies and the membranes. Then another structures present in the cytoplasm of the plant cell, that is Golgi complexes. It is responsible for again manufacturing, storing and transporting certain cellular products, and it modifies the proteins and fats made in the endoplasmic reticulum and prepares them for the export to the outside the cell. So Golgi complexes are also responsible for synthesis of certain lipids or processing of the proteins, synthesis of the lipids, and storage of the proteins and lipids supplied through the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which was readily produced by rough endoplasmic reticulum. So, rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesizing proteins which are then exported to the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, where proteins and the lipids synthesized in a smooth endoplasmic reticulum are then transported to the Golgi bodies. Then Golgi bodies again stores or transports the proteins brought from the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, or these are processed. The proteins are then processed or lipids are synthesized or processed in the Golgi bodies, which are then exported towards the outer surface of the cell so as to export them to the outside. So, Golgi complex is responsible for manufacturing, storing and transporting the certain cellular products which it modifies the proteins and fats made by endoplasmic reticulum and prepares them for their exportation and prepares them to export to the outside of the cell. Then mitochondria are oblong shaped double membrane organelles found in the cytoplasm. The inner membrane is folded to form the series of projections called as cristae, and the mitochondria converts the energy stored in the glucose into ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, for the cell. So mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. So these are the important organelles present in the cytoplasm of plant cells also. So mitochondria present in the cytoplasm of the plant cells performing the function of energy synthesis, means performing the pathways to oxidize the glucose and to transform into the ATP or the energy to the cells. So mitochondria are or oblong shaped double membrane cell organelles found in the cytoplasm of the plant cells, and the inner membrane of the mitochondrion is uh, folded forming cristae and possessing energy particles or performing the function of ATP synthesis, that is the transformation of glucose molecule into the energy. So the mitochondria convert energy stored in the glucose and transform it into ATP that is adenosine triphosphate for the cell. So mitochondria provides energy to the cell and thus are called as powerhouse of the cell. Then peroxisomes, these are tiny structures bounded by single membrane and that contains enzymes that produce hydrogen peroxide as a byproduct, and these structures are involved in a photorespiration. So peroxisomes are also the cell organelles, tiny structures, membrane bound structures with a single membrane and containing enzymes which uh, produce the hydrogen peroxide as a byproduct, and these structures are involved in a process of photorespiration. Plasmodesmata, these are the pores or the channels present between the plant cell walls that allows the molecules and communication signals to pass between the individual plant cells or the adjacent plant cells. So plasmodesmata, these are the pores or the channels present between the adjacent plant cells or the present between the plant cell walls, which allows the molecules and communication signals to pass between the individual plant cells. Then ribosomes are also present in the cytoplasm. They are tiny organelles composed of approximately 60% RNA and 40% proteins. Ribosomes, these are the tiny organelles, membraneless organelles composed of approximately 60% RNA and 40% protein. They are the site of the protein synthesis. So ribosomes are meant for the process of protein synthesis in the cytoplasm of the plant cells. Then vacuoles and cell sap, the another cell organelle or the structures present in the plant cells, cytoplasm of the plant cells. The cytoplasm of the mature cells contain one or more cavities or large sized vacuoles whose composition may vary in different cells, and these cavities are termed as vacuoles. So in case of plants, as the cell grows, the size of the vacuole also grows, and but thus the plant cells are much larger in size than the animal cells. So the cytoplasm of the mature cells contains one or more cavities whose composition may vary in different cells, and these cavities are called as vacuoles. These vacuoles are filled with cell sap, and the cell sap contains various salts, glucose, sugar, albuminoids, and organic acids. Sometimes vacuoles may contain oils, essences, resins, etc. So the vacuole are of great significance for the storage, detoxification, protection, and growth of plant cells. So the plant vacuoles or the large sized vacuoles are present in the plant cells. Animal cells are having vacuoles, but they are rarely present. Vacuoles are rarely present in the animal cells, and these are of small size. But in case of plant cells, vacuoles are of much larger size, or as plant cell grows, the size of the vacuole also grows. So the cytoplasm of the mature cell containing one or more cavities whose composition varies in a different cells, and these cavities are called as vacuoles. The vacuoles are filled with cell sap and containing salts, glucose, sugars, albuminoids, and the organic acids. So these are the number of components present in the vacuoles in the form of cell sap. Sometimes vacuoles may contain oils, essences, resins, etc. The vacuoles are of great significance for the storage, detoxification, protection, and growth of the plant cell. So this is what about the different components or the cell organelles present in the plant cells. So plant cells are composed of cell wall, plasma membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, then nuclear materials or the cytoplasmic materials, cytoplasmic inclusions, and the cytoplasmic organelles, which already we have explained in a detail. So then lastly we'll see the structure of a plant cell. So the plant cells are having much larger size, representing outermost covering, that is cell wall composed of cellulose, then just inside to which there is a plasma membrane or a cell membrane consisting of lipid bilayer or lipoprotein layer consisting of plasma membrane or the cell membrane, which is semi-permeable. Cell wall is again a important outermost covering, protective covering composed of cellulose with a pores or the micelle. Then enclosing inside, just inside to cell wall, there is a cell membrane. Then just inside to the cell membrane, there is a protoplasm or the cytoplasm, which is a semi-liquid or semi-fluid substance enclosing cytoplasmic organelles or inclusions and cytoplasmic structures. Cytoplasmic structures representing cytoplasmic organelles and cytoplasmic inclusion representing dissolved organic and inorganic substances in the cytoplasm. Then in cytoplasm there are a number of cell organelles present inside, that is representing rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, chloroplast, microtubules, microfilaments, centrosomes, which are the even large-sized vacuoles, speciality of the plant cells, that is presence of vacuoles in the cytoplasmic matrix containing cell sap or various contents of the cell sap, and that are present in the cytoplasm of the plant cells. And in the center of the plant cells, in the center of cytoplasm, we can see a conspicuous prominent structure of the nucleus provided with a double nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane with a nuclear pores or perforations and containing centrally nucleolus and surrounded by nucleoplasm containing the thread-like structures or the elements called as chromosomes. So chromosomes, chromatin material in the form of chromosomes, then different type of RNAs, different type of proteins, ribosomes, nucleolus are the various components present in the nucleus or enclosed in the nucleus or in a nuclear membrane called as nucleoplasm, and also possessing the definite number of chromosomes in the nucleus of the plant cell. Then variety of cell organelles, that is chloroplast, mitochondria, Golgi bodies or endoplasmic reticulum, and the large size vacuoles are present in the cytoplasm of the plant cell. So this is what about the structure and function of the plant cell as a eukaryotic cell. So today with this we'll stop here, and next time we'll explain the ultrastructure of the animal cell. So with the entire or detailed explanation of about structure and function of the plant cell, we'll stop here, and next time we'll continue with the next point, that is ultrastructure and function of the animal cell. Thank you.